Welcome to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and today is October 27th, 2021. Hey, just a reminder, if you like the show, hit the share button, hit the like button, let me know you're watching. Hey, you can also comment live during the show on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Of course, Money Chat Now is brought to you once again by Investor Schooling. You can attend a complimentary class this Thursday, that's tomorrow, by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, so today we're going to be discussing, of course, the market update, and it's a terrible market update. We're going to be talking about Robinhood stock dropping. We're going to be talking about Shiba coin. Oh man, I can't get away from this thing. This thing is insane. We're going to be talking about Hertz, Boeing stock, Twitter stock, and the do-nothing Democrats, because that's what they do. Nothing. Amazing. Wait till we get to it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so today, it was really bad. The Dow, was down a little bit. It was down a little bit. It wasn't so bad, but I noticed all my stocks were down. So it was kind of rough. But, the Dow had dropped basically 266 points after record highs the last couple of days. So yeah, sometimes it does need to take a break. The S&P was down 23. The Nasdaq was actually up 12 tenths of a point, which is kind of weird because it was actually up about 130 earlier, which was interesting too. So really what's happening is earnings just aren't doing everything that we needed them to do. I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying the market's going to be coming down. So come mid-November, and we're getting closer. We're about 2 weeks away. Come mid-November, I believe the market's going to drop, and it's probably going to drop somewhere between 1,000 and 1,500 points from here. So keep aware of that. I also think the S&P is going to drop probably somewhere to 4,400-ish, and that's going to be just a little bit normal for a little while. And then we'll get the retail earnings in January, and it probably will do pretty well in January. But right now, I think from November to probably mid-December, we're going to have a little bit of rough time, so watch out for it. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the world. Let's talk about Robinhood stock. Take from the rich and give to the poor. That's what Robinhood did in the fables. Anyway, yesterday Robinhood took from both. Robinhood stock dropped today about 4 points on really bad earnings report yesterday. Look, honestly, I don't think the earnings report was all that bad. And basically, this was it. They reported quarterly net revenue of $365 million, up 35% from the same quarter last year. A 32% year-over-year growth in transaction-based revenues to $266.8 million. And basically, that was majority was responsible for the overall growth in net revenues, along with a yearly rise of 26% in net interest revenues. Net revenues, however, failed to surpass the consensus estimate of $431 million. So they're saying that they didn't do what they didn't do what Wall Street expected. But I got to tell you, maybe it was ridiculous expectation. But frankly, if I'm going to own a company and its revenue grows 32% in 1 year, I'm going to be pretty damn happy. The problem here is in the prior quarter, the cryptocurrencies kind of stalled. I don't know if you remember, but it was kind of stalling for a little while, where Bitcoin was right around 3,300, even less, and Ethereum was below 2,500, and nothing really happened in crypto, so people weren't buying. But I'm going to tell you right now, in this quarter, we're seeing huge rallies in crypto, and I believe this will push the stock up like it did with Coinbase. By the way, they're now up about 50% in the past month. And damn, I missed that one. I waited 1 day too late. I said I know it's going to happen, and I just waited 1 day too late. So speaking of crypto, I finally got one right. Well, at least for now. About a month ago, I told you guys I bought Shiba at 7 millionth of a cent. Well, it's grown to almost 70 millionth of a cent. Actually, it was as high as 88 millionth of a cent about 5 minutes ago, and that was pretty wild. And this coin is really getting some traction and momentum. It's definitely an interesting play. As I study more and more about crypto coins, it actually surprises me that, well, maybe it doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you, that it keeps going and going. This coin, so how this coin works, it basically has something to do with NFTs. Non-Fundable Tokens. You got that right. It seems to have the retail trader very excited. All right, non-fungible tokens, you ask? Basically, this is a concept that will help prevent fraud in a transaction. Without going into a lengthy explanation of the beginning of crypto and the concept of the first coin, basically Bitcoin, Just understand that when you buy anything that is not actually recorded anywhere, the risk of fraud is huge. For example, if you bought a ticket to the World Series game from a ticket agency, otherwise known as a scalper, how can you be sure that the ticket is real and not a forgery? Well, the ticket can be classified as an NFT, non-fungible token, and put on the blockchain that will verify the ticket from its origin to you, the user of the ticket. This is essentially a non-hackable tracking system. So NFTs can also be in art, or it could be a deed to a house. I'm going to tell you right now, the technology will have huge advantages in the future. The real question is whether the technologies of NFT is going to be used or not. I believe it will. I'm just not sure when and how quickly it'll be adapted. By the way, here's another reason Shiba is rallying. It's believed that Shiba will be added to the Robinhood app shortly, and that means that the users of the app will be able to trade the coin there. Coinbase added it about a month ago, and it's rallied since. But look, we'll see, man. All I need is 1 cent. If it goes to 1 cent, I'll be up $2.3 million. You guys excited for me? Go 1 cent. Go 1 cent. Go 1 cent. Let's go, Brandon. Go 1 cent. All right. Does anybody remember Hertz? So Hertz was filing for bankruptcy about a year ago. It's amazing. I reported the other day that Hertz was ordering 100,000 cars from Tesla. On that day, both Hertz stock and Tesla stock popped. While the rest of the media was focused on the fact that Tesla became a trillion-dollar company as the stock rose over 1,000, I was saying it was a really good report about Hertz. Sure enough, Hertz is in the news today and talking about partnering with Uber and their rideshare organization. So starting November 1st, Uber drivers can rent Teslas from Hertz in Los Angeles, San Francisco, San Diego, and Washington, D.C., rather than use their personal vehicles, with nationwide expansion planned in the coming weeks. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. What no one is saying is what I see, and I think is a very smart visionary behind this move. We all know what's coming, and that's going to be totally autonomous cars, right? So that will put Hertz in the lead for renting an autonomous car for you to drive, or rather be driven in, when you land in another state or in need of transportation. It's a brilliant move, and watch it take shape over the next few years. Hertz is also going to be relisted on the New York Stock Exchange with their prior symbol HTZ very shortly. When the stocks fell to 40 cents, they would delist it to an OTC stock. By the way, I like Hertz for long-term play if this strategy is their end goal, and I definitely believe it is. I think it's an awesome move. I think they are going to set the stage. I think the restructuring of Hertz is absolutely brilliant, and if they're going to be doing the autonomous cars, it's going to be fantastic. All right, real quick, I want to get into Boeing, and then we're going to take a break. Hold on. Once again, I'm in a play that's going bad. Boeing can't get a break with its continued route of bad news. Boeing earnings were in this morning, and it lost more money in the quarter than, Wall Street actually anticipated. This loss, however, was caused by the 787 Dreamliner production problems. If you remember, I reported about 2 weeks ago that some of the parts of the plane were made of titanium, and these parts were too weak for the integrity of the plane. I'd hate to be the engineer who designed that part and realized they made a mistake. Obviously, this had to be rectified, but not only the cost of the parts, but the cost of time, too. And then, of course, there was a while ago, the Starliner failure, and that issue basically was caused by, I don't know if you realize it was an unmanned rocket, and it was supposed to dock with the space station, and of course it didn't make it. But the good news is the rocket did return to Earth for a forensic analysis on what went wrong. The other good news is that Boeing has sold more jets than the rival Airbus SE this year, and it was buoyed by demand for the 737 MAX and cargo planes. So, all in all, I believe BA is a good company. I believe it has many contracts in private sector as well as the government, and their bad luck will eventually stop. Airlines are going to need new planes, and rockets are always going to need to be built. I say stay the course with BA, and today's price drop was just another buy moment. As for me, I have about a month to go on my option play, and I need it to go back to 220 for me to make a little money. Go to 220. Go to 220. All right, now let's take a break, and we'll see you back in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, did you hit that share button? Come on, let's go. Hit that share button. I'm not going to continue until you do. Share me with your friends. Did you hit the like button? I see you guys are making some comments. Hi, Bill. Hi, Ron. I appreciate your comments. And, of course, let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. We've also been discussing, of course, the market update, and it's terrible. The market's down 266 points, the S&P down 23 points, and the NASDAQ is up 12th of a point. I don't know, whatever the heck it is, or it's just about nothing. We talked about Robinhood stock dropping. We talked about Shiba, and I'm pretty excited about Shiba. I think it's going to be a good play. We talked about Hertz going to partnering with Uber with Teslas, and Bill says he wants a Tesla for Ubering. I see him on Facebook. That's awesome. I think you should get one, man, definitely. All right, coming up, we're going to be discussing Twitter stock. We're going to be talking about the do-nothing Democrats and, of course, the wrap-up. All right, let's talk a little bit about Twitter. Twitter stock fell today about 9% after, I don't know, what I call a great earnings report. They're not, but I call it a pretty great earnings report. The stock was up after hours, and basically it fell just like Facebook did the other day. First of all, their revenue was $1.2 billion, which rose again 37% year over year. I got to tell you something. When you got a company doing $1.2 billion and that's a 37% increase year over year, that's fantastic. You know, by the way, advertising revenue was the largest contributor, of course, and it came in at $1.4 billion, growing 41% compared to the year ago, period. And look, I'm telling you, it's great stuff, but here's the problem. Twitter posted a quarterly loss of 54 cents per share, and Wall Street expected a profit of 17 cents per share, and that's the problem. But here's the deal. It was basically caused by a one-time litigation settlement expense of $766 million. Look, you know, that goes away. So I don't know why they're concerned with it, but anyway, at these numbers, I think it's a good stock. By the way, can somebody out there please show me how to use Twitter? I've been trying it for years. Is it me or is it the rest of the boomers like me? I call myself a boomer again. Oh, anyways, the rest of the boomers like me who just can't use it. I don't know. On the other hand, I used to have push notifications every time Trump tweeted, and now it's like a relationship that went bad. I get no calls. Man, I miss those tweets. But if you're watching this show, hey, please tweet. Let's go Brandon and tag me in it. All right. I think Twitter will be okay, and I think the drop will probably be a buying opportunity. I'd like it to fall a little bit more, maybe to 52, and then I'd really like it. It did fall below my buy number of 55 today, but I think 52 will be even a better number, and I'm just waiting for it. All right. It wouldn't be Money Chat Now without discussing the Democrats and their multi-trillion-dollar can't-do-anything bill, nicknamed the Build Back Better plan. Whew. In their original $3.5 trillion budget plan proposal, Democrats included a revision of Medicare that would add coverage for dental, hearing, and vision. What? I'm sorry. This part of the plan was expected to cost around $350 billion over a decade. Now they're looking to remove this part of the plan and not expand Medicaid. Hey, Pelosi, don't you know us old people can't hear very well? I'm sure you didn't hear that. You need to give us hearing aids, and you need to give us the universal health plan with it. Come on now. Let's have hearing aids on our Medicaid. Anyway, the expansion has become a major sticking point in talks for the bill. Bernie Sanders has said that the new benefits must be included in the legislation. He also demanded that the bill allow Medicare to negotiate lower drug prices with pharmaceutical companies. Wait, check this out. I got to tell you this, right? Bernie Sanders said that the bill must allow Medicare to negotiate lower drug prices with pharmaceutical companies. Hey, Bernie, Trump did this last year and you guys reversed it. Go back and look it up. Unbelievable. Some 62.8 million Americans, most over the age of 65, are enrolled in Medicare as their main form of health insurance. The program, which began in 1965, has never included dental, vision, or hearing coverage for elders. Other health care costs are also in the chopping block as plans to expand Medicaid which was closing the coverage gap for low-income Americans in states that didn't expand the program under the Affordable Care Act. So basically they're saying that if you didn't have enough money to cover your Medicaid deductible, they were going to cover it. Which, first of all, look, if you got poor people and we have these social plans, it should be done. But okay, they're now going to cut those plans too. So once again, are the Democrats really concerned about the poor people? Nah, apparently not. They would rather just argue among themselves and go back to their million-dollar mansions and complain about the hard work they did all day trying to help the poor. I'll leave the rest of the story to the upcoming news in the next few weeks as the do-nothing Democrats build their wallets back better than when Trump was in office. That's the reality, folks. The reality is they just want to line their pockets. Let it keep going. All right, let's take a break, and we'll see you back in a minute, and we'll talk about the wrap-up and some of my cool stock picks, and we'll see you then. Investor Schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of.
Investor Schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Welcome back to Money Chat Now. I'm your host, Larry Steinhouse, and I was just thinking about the popcorn that we stole out of Don's lap when we were making that video. I thought that was great. Anyway, we've been discussing the market update and how terrible the market did today. Not horrible, whatever. Down 266 points, the S&P down 23, and NASDAQ kind of leveled out, didn't do much. However, Ford just came with their earnings, and Ford crushed it, man. They did well. In fact, they're basically raising their guidance. I said this yesterday. I knew that was going to happen. I knew that GM and Ford were going to crush it. I knew it was great. So Ford, once again, is actually up 81 cents over 16. Now, I don't know, man. I had been trying to invest in Ford since it was 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 13, and every time I get out too early, and sure enough, it just keeps going. So that's a good play. I like it. I think Ford will do really well, especially with the onset of electric cars. We also talked a little bit today about the Robinhood stock dropping, the Shiba coin, go 1 cent, go 1 cent, go 1 cent. We've been talking about Hertz, Boeing stock, and how I think it's a good play. Twitter stock, I think it's a good play. And of course, we talked about the fact that the Dems still can't do anything. I don't know how they can call it a bipartisan bill and not get it passed. It just amazes me. But anyway, okay. Did you hit the share button yet? Come on, Pablo. I see you out there. Come on, Bill. Come on, Ron. Hit the share button. Share it with your friends. Let everybody out there know you're watching. Of course, hit the like button and let me know you enjoy the show. And of course, I can see your comments. And thank you for the compliment on that genius ad. I have to tell you, that ad, that's really, really bad. Really bad acting, but it's hysterical. And thanks, Leonardo. We appreciate you as a viewer as well. All right. I mentioned some stocks earlier, such as BA, Facebook, and Twitter. Look, I think they're all good plays. I'd like to see them pull back a little before I'm a buyer. And I mentioned I'm looking for Facebook to go below 300 to about 295 or lower, and Twitter to drop about 3 more points to about 52. I think that's going to be good numbers. I think they're going to be safe numbers. So remember, what I teach is I teach people how to not lose money. So at those numbers, it'll probably will not be losing money. So that's what I like about it. Tomorrow, Apple is on deck, and we're going to get the earnings report after the bell, and I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a good earnings report. I suspect actually it will be a good earnings report, but it doesn't mean the stock's going to rock. I've seen it happen too many times before where the earnings are great, but the stock just drops. So keep in mind that they may happen, but I still think it's going to be pretty good. So McDonald's and Bristol-Myers Squibb did well today in their earnings reports, and they both showed growth and both popped. McDonald's is going to do well. I think McDonald's is also another good one. And let's go Sheba. I bet you thought I was going to say Brandon, didn't you? Well, you know what? Let's go Brandon. Hey, type in "Let's go Brandon" if you're watching the show, so I know you're watching the show. Anyway. Sheba's rocking it. I saw it hit 88 millionth of a cent. All I need is 1 cent, and I'm off to the beach because I want to make $2.3 million. I can't wait. All right, did you hit the share button? Did you hit the like button? Thanks, Pablo. I appreciate you hitting the button. And once again, if you've made money on this show with some of the tips we discussed, please leave a comment and let me know. And of course, as always, from time to time, I own some of the, one more time, right, okay. I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show are solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. I want to thank you once again for watching Money Chat Now. We look forward to your continued support. By the way, real quick, if you're around in Doylestown tonight, we're going to be having an event at Chambers 19. It's a little pub now called Chambers 19 on Main Street, 19 Main Street. If you want to stop by and see me, I'll be there with a bunch of people, and we're going to have some drinks and some free appetizers. So we'll see you there tonight. Anyway, take care, all. We'll see you tomorrow at 4:03.